So we are now up and recording and waiting for people to come in. And so everything we do now is on the actual recording, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. And can't wait, though, to see what you got prepared for us today.
Awesome. Well, I am excited.
Me too. Me too. I'm usually the one doing them, not just doing the host part. I'm usually the guest. So this is kind of fun doing it in reverse.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I just got asked to do a show next month for business investors, about 250 business investors for cybersecurity. So looking forward to that. Yeah, no, it's fun. They were on, Paul Oldendahl, right?
I've heard of that name.
Yeah, he's very big in Alignable, and he is actually I'm on a monthly broadcast with him. It's Ed and Paul, Wake Up with Ed and Paul show, and I guess this guy had heard, we talked with him and had a discussion with him and answered some questions, and he has asked me to come on his podcast now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And that's the way it works. I mean, we enjoy doing a lot of education. It is going to be an alignable thing, so it is going to be a purely educational thing like this is, and it's nice that we get to do that.
Yes, that's great. Sounds like he has a pretty good network too. So word gets around.
He started his network 2 months ago and already has 250 subscribers, which is awesome. Yeah, I think in our group we've got just under 100 right now, but we've been around for probably about 6 months. I haven't done any active promoting though, and I've been a terrible ambassador. Bad ambassador. I'm not worthy. Yeah, no, it's definitely been. I have not had the time to spend on it that I would like to, and I was just chatting with one of the mentors about that today. Hey, Paul is here. Hey, Paul, how are you? I think your audio is on, so you can speak. And make sure allow to talk. There we go. I'm going to allow Paul in. Say hello, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
We're just talking about Paul. We're not going to put your video in, buddy, just your audio. There he is. Hey, Paul. Are you there? Make sure you got the right device. You are set up to talk. He may not be there. He may have joined and he may be AFK. He will do that every once in a while. When we get started, we'll mute everybody, but we'll give people a chance to get in, give them another 5 minutes or so to get in.
Yeah, sure.
Paul, if you can hear me, you can speak. You are on the broadcast right now. How you doing, buddy? I always welcome him. I can't tell if he can hear us or not because he may have joined in on a phone call or something. Oh, he's joining again. Okay. That's weird. He's in twice.
Maybe it's for 2 different devices or something.
Maybe. I'm going to allow him to talk and see if that's an audio problem. You maybe have an audio fun. Paul, can you hear us?
I hear you fine. Can you
there
hear
you
me?
go. Welcome. We can. Welcome.
I've got to turn my volume down a little bit.
What is the old thing like this? The salute?
Well, the little Sony headset, you got to wipe your finger up or down on the side of the headset to control the volume. And there we go. We're seeing our representatives from Thryv once again. Oh my Lord, how many times?
We like her. We at least she doesn't look like me. At least you don't have to. At least it isn't me. Imagine if you had to look at me like all the time.
Yeah, it does get a little taxing too.
I told you.
Constantly.
You're welcome to abuse me. We got a few more minutes. We're going to wait a couple more minutes and then get started. We'll start about 11:05. But I'm not the main ticket on this one. I get to play the hoster and introduce. Kristen's going to do all the talking this time.
Good. I'm going to do all the listening. I'm here to learn.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna chirp in. I'm a customer, so I'm gonna chirp in every now and then and say something how it's helped us. But for the most part, this is her gig.
So we know how much I love this non-Zoom platform. I see the presentation. Is a picture of me somewhere? Is my camera even?
Oh no, it's not meant to have the people.
Oh, good. Oh, good. You don't want to see my fat head anyway.
I'll mute you. So everybody's muted by default. We don't see them. It's not like Zoom. It's a regular webinar platform. You only see the host and the co-hosts, and then and the material they're presenting. But we'll bring people in as they have questions. We can make you visible. So, like, if you have a question, we'll bring you in and make you visible for the question.
All right. So I guess now I have no questions.
Oh, now you're quiet.
Look, I can mute myself.
Can you hear yourself? Yeah, you can mute yourself, but I'm going to mute you in a minute anyway, just to be annoying.
Oh, there. I am muted myself while I was having fun saying you can't see me, that I'm talking to you, and the things I'm saying about you.
I haven't even twice. Did you join once and then drop out?
Did I do what?
Did you join once and then drop out?
Oh, earlier today. Was it today? No, yesterday. No, I don't think I didn't drop in today.
Okay.
I know I was on a call yesterday and I was an hour ahead of myself. And I'm like, where the hell is everybody on this call? And I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. What the heck does it matter with me?
And we're going to get started and get going. Paul, thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you aboard. And I actually, you're one of your buddies that was on the show last time actually invited me to come do a deal with them yesterday, which we're going to do in June. He said he's going to make sure he gets you the info.
Excellent.
Yep. Anyway, hey everybody, Paul, I'm going to go ahead and mute you now. There you go. Everybody's muted. Guys, welcome to our presentation on Thryv and automating your business. And I'm going to actually let her do all the talking today. I'm just your friendly host. My name is Robert Trembath. I'm the CTO for AIO Integrations. I am not just I'm not just here presenting as a partner in Thryv. I am actually a customer. We've been a customer for, I don't know, somewhere around the neighborhood of about 8 months now, somewhere around that, not quite a year. And love the platform. I can't say enough good things about it. One of the most professional groups I've ever dealt with in my 32-year career. And Kristen is our partner representative and is going to be giving you guys all the lowdown on everything today. So, Kristen, I'm going to shut up and the floor is yours, okay?
Oh, thank you, Robert.
Whoop.
Sorry,
that was my fault. I muted you instead of.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, I'm getting no sound. Can you hear me okay, Robert?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
I'm sitting there talking and my microphone's muted. I muted myself on purpose. Sorry about that. So go right in. I'm being a terrible operator today.
You're good. Okay, as long as we're good. So again, thank you for being here, everybody, today. We are super excited to talk with everyone. Whether you're here live or listening to the recording, we appreciate you being here. So today, it's really not just about Thryv. It's really about your business and some ways to elevate that customer experience. And as small business owners, we know it's crucial to create those relationships with your clients and to be able to build a great client experience, which really ensures that we are able to build stronger connections and a more successful business overall. So we wanted to share some excellent ways that we have found that have helped small businesses succeed and thrive long term. So my name is Kristen Hannum, and I'm a strategic partnership advisor at Thryv. So I work with others such as Robert, who work with small businesses. And it's always been my passion to watch small businesses thrive and grow. And I know it can be overwhelming just running a business day to day. Small business owners wear so many different hats. So oftentimes they're, CEO of marketing, they're, director of sales, they do accounting. So being able to simplify and automate some of these tasks can really have them put the focus back on that relationship building and build a more efficient and a productive business. So today, Robert Trembath from AIO Integrations has partnered with Thryv to present these business tools and also solutions and options for your business to help you create those relationships and build a stronger business while being able to expand time and time again. So let's jump right in. So today, customers no longer base their loyalty on price or product. Instead, they stay loyal with companies due to that experience that they received. I think often there's a little bit of a disconnect, and that's between the experience that we provide for some of our clients versus what they expect as consumers nowadays. So consumers have choices, right? And we are quickly learning that the easier it is to find you and to do business with you is very important. We have been spoiled by those Amazons and the Instacarts of the world that have made it so easy to do business with elsewhere. So if you're not able to create that same type of customer experience, unfortunately, they may find other places who are providing that client experience. So finding these ways to do that has been extremely important. So what do customers want? 86% of buyers are willing to pay more for a great client experience. And we never want to be a business who's really competing with the business next door based on a couple of percentage points or a couple pennies off. We want to create those long, strong, repeat customers that will come back again and again, even pay more if we're able to provide that great client experience and show that you really care about their business and that their business is important to you. They will continue to come back if you do that. We want to make sure that that client experience is there so they remember the next time they need your service to call you and not just go to that next person on Google. So unfortunately, if you cannot keep up with their increasing demands, they may leave you. And we do find this unfortunate that consumers, they have so many choices out there. So they have demands, and if it's hard to keep up with, but if you don't, they may go the next option. So being able to provide these things is so important, and it's becoming more and more important every day. So how do we do this, right? Here are 6 simple ways to elevate your customer experience. So one is reaching more customers. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So if you're not in front of these customers, then they're not gonna even know you exist. Or if you have them as a repeat customer, they may not be able to find your information and give you a call again. So making sure that you're super easy to find online is vital. And then organization is key. Having a system to help you stay organized will help your business be more efficient and more productive and profitable. So it helps you build those customers' trust and loyalty. And then making payments easy. I know this is one of everybody's favorite parts is getting paid. So that should be really simple and easy to do. The last thing you want to do is to have to track somebody to go pick up a check, right? You want to make it as simple to pay you as possible. And then, of course, communication. We all know how important communication is, and that is one of the keys in building those relationships. So we want to make sure this communication is streamlined, it's easy, and it's effective. And however, we do know communication takes time. So it's important to automate some things. So things like follow-ups, review requests, we'll go through and we'll chat some more about this later on, but this is all very important. We don't want to lose that human element as a business. However, some of these things, like I mentioned, appointment reminders, review requests, they can easily be automated. And then, of course, we're working so hard to provide that great client experience. We want to make sure that we're working to earn those reviews. And so really advancing that word of mouth referral process and allowing everyone else to see what a wonderful job that we're doing for your end clients is vital. So let's talk about reaching more customers. How do you stay in front of these people, and how are you found when somebody's looking for your products or services? So the first one is, obviously having a website. A website works as your digital storefront now, and it helps add loyalty and credibility. So it's so important that if somebody's looking for your products and services, they're able to find you. And also, if you get a referral and they go to search your domain, you want them to be able to find information regarding your products and services. That'll save you a lot of time for when they do call you, because a lot of their questions can get answered right from looking at your website. And of course, you want your website to be modern. You want it to be up to date, easy to engage with, secure, recent photos, before and after photos. But having a website now in 2023 especially is extremely important. And then social media, there are millions of people on social media every day. So you want to be omnipresent and show up where they're at, right? So social media helps you engage with your current customers. It helps you build your brand, helps you get your name out there. When you post before and after photos, you can easily tag your client, and then all their followers will be able to see that as well. So social media is a great way to build your brand and get that new business too. And then having accurate listings. I don't know if you've ever experience where you're going somewhere. For instance, I went to a dry cleaner. It said they were open at 7, but they weren't open till 8. So I ended up going to somewhere with someone else. That can be not such a great experience. So just having accurate listings across the board, regardless of where that person finds you, they're going to find the same phone number, the same address, the same website, similar photos, is extremely important. And we all know Google loves congruency. So that'll give you a boost and being found as well. And then of course, reviews. I know we all do it, even if we get a referral, we go look at those stars first thing to see what other people say before we decide to move forward with that product or service. So even if it's a word of mouth, I definitely want to check out that review to make sure others agree as well. So having those reviews online is definitely a great way to get found and get that business. And then just making sure when we do get those reviews that we engage with them and respond to every review we get, whether positive or negative. So obviously we want most of them to be positive, right? But we are all human. So as long as we respond to all those reviews, that's another thing that's looked at. So this is a great way to get those additional clients coming through the door as well. And then more than half of consumers, they don't trust your business really if you don't have that online presence. So it really goes back to what I was just saying, looking at those reviews for the first time. Even if someone refers a business to me and says, hey, check out Nick at Top Notch Remodeling, did a beautiful job remodeling my bathroom. You should give him a call when you're ready to start your remodel. If you go look at Nick's business and all you can simply find is maybe a Facebook page with posts on it from 2 years ago, you may not trust to do business with that person. So making sure that you have that really professional appearance on the outside ensures you're trusted by those consumers, both current and prospective. And of course, organization is key. So how do we go back about tracking all this? So first thing is client history. So customer information is really important these days. As we continue to grow the business, you will have more and more clients that you're supposed to be keeping up with. Things like client history gets to be extremely important. Having those notes and knowing the last time you interacted, for example, with Marie, is when you went and did a remodel for her bathroom. And at that time she mentioned that she was looking to remodel, for instance, her kitchen. So when she calls you back, you can say something like, oh, hey, Marie, I hope you're happy with your bathroom. Are you ready to get that kitchen remodeled? I mean, that just builds that rapport and makes her feel comfortable, like, yes, let's go ahead and move forward with that. And then of course, payments. So being able to get paid super easily, and I'll say it again, it's one of our favorite parts, right? And we deserve to get rewarded for our work. So making this as easy as possible for that client to pay you. And then online appointments. So I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where it's like, at the end of the day, it's past business hours and you need to schedule an appointment, but it's too late to call. So instead of playing that phone tag, just simply offering an option to schedule like, hey, a 15-minute discovery call. Or if you do want to mention all your services and give them the option to schedule, you can definitely do that as well. But having the ability to schedule those online appointments makes it so much easier for both the business owner and the client. And then being able to do this all from a mobile app. Whether you guys have shops or if you're working out, doing service calls, installations, anything like that, being able to interact and take payments, all these things from an app on your phone. So regardless of where you're at, is very, it's vital. And then 50% of teams improve their productivity by using a mobile CRM. So just keep in mind, CRMs are only as good as the information that you populate them with, whether that is through automation or through manual tracking. If they don't have any information, there's not a ton they can do for you. So making sure these are constantly updated. And we all know that we're tied to our phones, right? So being able to keep up on a day-to-day basis and quickly like inputting, any information or even being able to message people right from the phone app has been really helpful. And it's made teams a lot more productive. And at the end of the day, productivity is kind of the name of the game in the small business space. And of course, making payments easy. So so just think about, how do customers pay you now? Do I have the option to use contactless payments? Can I tap? Can I pay through a link? Any of these sort of things are important, but sometimes you're right in front of that person, and we do want to make sure that you're super easy to be paid as well, right in front of that person. And maybe also an advance online or allowing them to leave you a deposit. And then for some of those bigger jobs, being able to easily send out a quote or an estimate, and then being able to easily convert that to an invoice.
Hey, one of the things, can I add something here, Kristen?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Hey, one of the things that's really neat is if you have a business that does large projects like a contractor or home improvement and remodeling, whatever it might be, where it might be larger ticket values, they actually have a ThryvPay program that has financing for your clients. So you get paid on your project and they can, pay at a competitive rate for theirs. But fantastic that that's built into the solution. But that's fairly new, and I wanted to make sure that people knew that that was something you guys had. That was very cool.
Yes, and Robert, that's a really good point, because it's much easier to say like, hey, 15 versus saying, hey, like 15,000 is due today. It's much easier saying, hey, so it'll be $150 a month for this many months. It's much easier to say yes than that, than like, hey, yes, 15 grand is due today. So that's a really good point. Thryv financing. A lot of people are loving that. And then more than 1/4 of small businesses have already seen an increase in contactless payment transactions since the pandemic began. So I think we all know that creating different ways of getting paid makes you get paid much more quickly. I know as a consumer myself, if you send me a link via text or email, you'll get paid way faster than if I have to go drop off a check. And then of course, communication. This is a key in any type of relationships that you have with your clients. So how do we go about making communication easy? So again, having access to a client portal. If the only option is to call you or send you an email, it could get pretty overwhelming. So it's important to have a client portal. It's a great way to keep truth of that client record of that back and forth interactions with your business. They can see estimates that were shared. They can also maybe see photos that you sent of before and after to give them ideas of what they may want. Any payments that were sent, they can easily contact you through the client portal. So it's a great way for the clients to be able to communicate. And then one single inbox. This allows you all that communication, whether it's through Facebook or Instagram or text or email or even Google, to fall into one location, one single inbox. So it makes it really easy not to, skip messages, or maybe you hadn't checked your Facebook Messenger and you didn't realize. So it's just one single inbox.
Can I add something to this, Kristen?
Yes, absolutely.
Us as a customer, so I told you we are a customer. We've been a customer for about 8 months, but one of the big reasons we went to this is because most people just provide a way to manage social media where you still have to create the content and, post those things. And they actually do all that for us. It's really wonderful. And the inbox that they're talking about, it's a unified inbox. So in other words, I'm looking like I would at a normal inbox for a normal email, but I'm getting SMS messages in there. I'm getting Facebook Messenger, Google Chat. I'm getting all the ways that they want to communicate. As you know, nobody leaves voicemail anymore. What's that, voicemail? Everybody texts everybody. So text has become kind of like the new medium, and it accommodates for that because I don't have to go to LinkedIn messaging or Facebook messaging or SMS or my inbox. I just have to go to this one inbox, and it brings all that into that one place to where, and when I would see those inputs from customers, I can directly respond to them in kind just by replying right there, and it knows to send that reply out in the way in which it came in, which is, I can't even tell you how cool that is to let customers come to you at their level in the way they want to communicate with you. This is so useful. It's not even, I can't even put a value on that. But the other part of this is she's talking about social media. They actually, every 2 weeks, I get an email from their administrator. It says, hey, we have some posts for you to review for your next 2 weeks. They have automatically created posts that go out to my Google and Facebook and all my social media that are completely relevant to what we do. And they post it up there. And this is not only helping our social media, but it's boosting it creates more content on Google. And we're getting higher listings on Google. So it's just like a one thing on top of the other, how it helps. And I don't have to touch it. They completely do that for us. Which I like I said, again, as wrapped up as I am in my daily routine of running a business, there's one less thing I have to do. And it's one thing I really never did before, but it's helping us in so many ways. Anyway, go ahead, Kristen.
No, that's awesome, because a lot of businesses don't realize how important social media is when it comes to building your brand and how many people are actually on social media. So they kind of just expect clients to find where they're at, and you want to show up where the clients are facing. And a lot of them, they're on social media. So it's just important to have a presence there. So Robert, I definitely appreciate your feedback. Very helpful. And then website pop-ups, and this can be anything as hey, put your email in, join my newsletter, or maybe even get directions. Any type of website pop-up makes it really easy for that, end consumer to communicate with you. And then one of my favorites is email and text reminders. They've really changed the game. So being able to automate some of these, it puts so much time back in your day. You don't have to worry about, hey, is Joe going to show up tomorrow at 10? Because you know that you already have an email and text being sent out to them.
Absolutely. And the website pop-ups, I want to add something to that because a lot of people don't realize what you mean by that. And I've come across this as we talk to people. They have a bar that they can put across the side of the website, and it kind of adds a customer portal to any existing website. So it really doesn't matter how it is actually, it doesn't matter how it's whether your website's hosted on WordPress or they've done it or you're doing it with anybody else. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's an add-in, a code snippet that goes in, and it adds this bar across the side, and you can customize what's there. And they're quick links. They're quick links to where customers can go in and see their invoices. They can look at their estimates. They can pay a bill. They can create an appointment with, they can actually schedule their own appointments like she was talking about earlier. But what I love is the quick link for the review. So, we were having a lot of trouble getting people to review. So we just simply said, go to our site and click that button, and it will automatically pop up right where you need to be to just start typing your review. And sure enough, it does. And we are getting more reviews as a result of that. And those reviews turn into more business. So I just want to kind of define that The one thing that's really good about this too is that the information pop-up, in other words, the schedule, all that stuff goes into the Thryv back end, so you don't have to re-enter this information. It's not like you're getting an email that says, hey, you got an inquiry, and then you got to go copy and paste all that stuff into your CRM. This stuff's just already shows there. It's already there. It's Thryv magic.
Yes, exactly. You have all their information. Yep, absolutely. Perfect. And then 91% of US adults like receiving emails from companies that they do business with. So it's not just Thryv saying it, they want you to keep in touch with them. And whether you're just showing other work that you've done or presenting other offer quotes, they actually like receiving emails from you. And then this is probably one of my favorite stats, is that text messages have a 98% open rate within 2 minutes. So I'm sure as I'm talking, I'm sure, you all have received some type of text message and took a look at it. And I'm not saying that each and every time one of these are going to respond right away. When you do send out, everybody's going to respond when you do send out a text message, but you are keeping your name in front of them and you're showing that you care and you're reaching out. So it's just important to be able to just make as many touch points as possible. So we can automate some of this. We'll go into this in a little bit, but text messaging and email are definitely, ways to communicate as well. So let's talk about automating, because this is kind of a lot. And how can we make some of this communication a little bit easier for you all? So the first one is reminders, like I mentioned before. I'm sure that you all received a reminder for this webinar saying that, we are excited to see you with the link, but also if you say you have an appointment tomorrow at 2, you want to send them out a reminder and maybe like, hey, if you have any last minute details or have any questions, feel free to reach out. You just want that to go out automatically, because you shouldn't really have to there's only so many hours in a day, and you shouldn't have to manually do that and take time out of your day. And then I always love thank yous. Everybody wants to feel, appreciated. So one of my favorites is thank yous. They want to, they trusted you. It's important to make sure that we're saying thank you. And it's actually, showing that you care is worth that weight in gold. And then of course, receipts, because everybody wants to know what they paid for, right? So it's always great to be able to send out a receipt. And then follow-ups, it's very important because it's expensive to go out and find new clients every time. So I think a lot of business owners miss out on re-engaging with their existing clients. So being able to automate some of these things, with the follow-ups, with the, and having tools to do that could make a significant difference.
Kristen, sorry I can interrupt again. I know you got everything going. I was going to tell you, there's real facts about this that you need to know as business owners, and that is that the cost of obtaining a new client is nearly 20 times the cost of retaining an existing client. It is that much different. So that's what this is built around, and that's what she's talking about, is that client retention. And trust me, it is extremely important and extremely valuable and a lot less costly than building new ones.
Yes, that's a very good point. And then as simple as like, I haven't heard from you messages, like, hey, how are you doing? We miss you, whatever it is. We hope that you're doing okay. Could be something simple or any type of like, I haven't heard from you message. It just lets them know that you care, and it just helps build those relationships as well. And a lot of all this right here can be easily automated, and we can make it we know their client history based in Thryv. So it still has that personal touch as well. And then 75% of consumers are more likely to buy a retailer that, knows their name, right? And then recommends things based on their past purchases and knows their purchase history. So I'm sure we all know how lovely it feels when you walk into a store and someone says, hey, Robert, how you doing today? It's great to have you back. And then has things to recommend based on what you got before, what you purchased before. I mean, it's a good feeling, right? And then let's just talk about a little more about the last thing here is earning those reviews. Again, just really starting, this is really starting to we got to take those word of mouth referrals and really start to bring them to a different level and put them on a platform that many more people can see. Because it may be great that just say like Susie says, hey, Robert did an awesome job, but maybe it may be great for her to tell her friends and family that. But what about so many other people that if she were to put that online, so many more people would be able to see that?
Oh, our biggest issue as a company is for 2 years, we did a ton of business on Angie. As an IT company, we were like the highest rated one on Angie for 2 years in a row. We had the Super Service Award. We were 4.8 out of 5 in 48 states. But the problem is that the reviews were all on Angie. So unless you were a member, you couldn't go read them. Nothing got over to Google. And that's where everybody was looking. They're like, yeah, I see, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So we actually had to spend a lot of time reaching back out to those people and, getting them to go back out and resubmit reviews that they could find. But the one thing I love is that this naturally encourages people to use the platform that people are using to post reviews. And it's helped us tremendously.
Oh, that's awesome. So just and Robert, you just covered some of this, but why are reviews important, right? So it improves that repeat business, and Google has a certain algorithm, and really the more reviews you get, the more chances that you're going to get a boost every time you get a review. So, and then of course it gives consumers that confidence, like when they're going to look for a business. Like I mentioned earlier, the first thing we do is we usually tap on those stars to see what other people think. So some of the automated follow-ups and thank yous saying like, hey, I really enjoy doing business with you. Thank you so much for letting us service you. I'd love for it if you were to give us feedback. We can make it really simple, right? And it just shows that you're really going out of your way. And then for new clients, it really encourages confidence. Again, when choosing your business, right? When you go look them up online and you can see that they have reviews and they're responded to. So even if, Robert, if you were to go tell me like, hey, this Steve is a great mechanic, like I mentioned earlier, I still am going to go check out his reviews to make sure other people agreed with you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think I ever do business with a company where I haven't read through the reviews to not only do I look at, what they are, but how many, and I look at the good and the bad people, I have to say. I don't care who you are, you're going to get a bad review every once in a while. You're going to find somebody who just didn't, like you for some reason or another. It happens. But, a lot of people are fair about that, and they're going to read and realize, what it is. But when you've got, 50 good reviews and one bad one, it's going to be very easy for them to see that most of your customers are happy.
Exactly. And we're all human, so it's totally okay as long as it's just respond like, hey, I'm sorry for that experience. I just like showing that you care. So, I mean, as long as most of them are ideally positive, it's good, but we're all humans. So it's okay. And earlier I mentioned making sure all your listings are correct and consistent and up to date, but also, like I also mentioned, those reviews also convince the search engines and the social sites to recommend your business more often. So it's all about having a well-rounded experience and approach when it comes to your online presence and customer experience really as a whole. So making sure it's easy to find you and interact with you online so that if they decide they want to do business with you, but also making sure that your business is at least an option, right? So they can contact you. And how do we go about this? So in order to get those reviews, all we need to really do is identify those happy customers and respond, whether it's positive or negative. And it's very simple. So it's something like saying something like, I enjoyed working with you. And, we greatly appreciate your business. Do you mind giving us some feedback with your link?
Oh, I'm instantly notified when a review comes in, and I love that I can reply to it from within Thryv. I don't have to go to Google. I can actually see it, read it, respond to it. And people love getting quick responses to that. Those quick thank yous are wonderful. And a lot of times, if we see somebody write up a review and we remember what we did for them or something special about it, we might even ask them, hey, how did you, thank you for the positive review. How are you enjoying the shelves we built for you, or whatever it might have been. But and then they just elaborate on that, and it's more advertising, more positive things that are being said about what you did. But those kind of conversations are what bring people into your fold.
Yes, that's very true. And I love how you're saying you're responding to them. And yes, I mean that just creates even a more loyal customer too. And just by responding to them and having that interaction, they're gonna want to give you more referral work, because you're kind of, you're keeping on top of their mind as well. And then other people are seeing that. So that does make a big difference. And then 97% of consumers, they do read online reviews before making a decision. So it's not just me, I see, right? It's really across the board. So it's just important to be aware of what is being said about your business. So Thryv does a great business analysis scan that we'd love to offer you as a free takeaway. If you have any interest, we could actually go check out your online presence, it analyzes your online presence, your website, your reviews, all as a whole. So,
when we started, you did that. You gave us a report card, and we knew where it kind of gave us some ideas of where we needed to start. We found inconsistent information was a big thing. Like one search engine said one thing, another search engine had another. Sometimes it was pulling up stuff that had nothing to do with us. It was really interesting, but now when I go to search for anything related to our company, I mean, the entire page is just full of references to us. It's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So today, just want to, at the heart of any successful business is the ability to meet customers' expectations. So regardless of your industry, there are 6 key things that we covered today that every business should focus on in order to achieve a significant growth. So Thryv is a powerful platform that brings together all 6 of these important elements in a single dashboard, making it easy for your business to manage your online presence and provide an exceptional customer experience. So let's go through and see if you all have any questions.
We don't have any questions in the platform right now. So while people are thinking about that, I want to talk about a couple of key examples outside of our own experience for some clients recently that you've helped us with. One was something completely separate before you, and one was another, and they're 2 completely different industries, but it gives you an idea of how it helps. And one was a tree service company that was growing. They had kind of hit their maximum as to what they could do with time in their day. They had trucks. They didn't have any way to invoice people on the go. So what happened was the business owner was out there all the time doing work, managing his crews. And then he'd get home and he would spend 4 more hours at home in, processing time and creating invoices, billing customers, and then having to go back and get credit cards. And it just seemed like by the time he was done, he had a 15 to 18 hour day. He'd go to sleep and rinse and repeat the same thing. And after doing that for, a couple of years, you burn out. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, dude. So we actually showed him a way to put tablets connected to cellular data with his truck. They have an app, and they were able to give the supervisor at each of those locations who drove permission and a card reader in a way to actually invoice in the field. Nice. And they could have the customer sign right there, run their credit card right there. But he went from being able to basically quote a job, have it approved, have them collect in the field without having to worry about their people handling money or copying credit cards. They just would swipe the card on the deal for the invoice, or the customer could go online and pay it, either one, whatever they were comfortable with. And it was so easy because now he was able to eliminate that 4 hours every night that he spent processing the day's work. It was already done when he got home. And now he's able to handle twice as much business with the same amount of people. He's pretty much doubled his income in a year because of that. The other one I wanted to talk about was one we just recently signed. He's brand new. We haven't really done anything for him yet. We're getting ready to start, but I just want to recall a part of the conversation. I'm not going to name him, but I know Kristen knows what I'm talking about. He owns a specialty car services company where they run kind of a high-end service in Austin, and they bring people to the airports. And this guy is very smart. He's formerly from Dell. He's retired. He started this business. He's done extremely well with it, but he's about ready to pull his hair out because he's literally having to do everything himself. There's no automation, and without him, the business just doesn't work. And it's hard because then you can't take yourself out of the business. There's no break from anything. And he's the same thing we were just talking about, that pull your hair out burnout after so much time. And it's almost to a point where it's almost affecting his marriage. And so when we first started talking with them, they were considering selling the business because it just he was so done. Now his attitude is, oh my God, I see this. I see the potential for it. We found a way to automate 80-90% of what he does. And he'll be able, now it's like, oh man, I want to keep it now. I want to grow it. He sees the potential and what it can do and feels this could take him into 8, 9, 10 times what he was doing before. But these are just great examples of, it really doesn't matter what industry you're in. Everybody's got that busy work in their life. And we don't have any questions yet. I've been releasing some poll questions. I got one last one I'm going to send out here.
Oh yeah, no worries, because Robert, we do have this job forum and there's also a link for it in here. So if you all have any questions, if you want to scan that job form or go directly to that link there, we'd be happy to get any of those answered for you. Also, if you'd like, a customized demo, we'd love to show you one. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I could show you things in our screen and do things like that and show you how we do it. But really, the best way, they have some demo accounts set up, and they can, rather than show you stuff out of my account, they can actually show you all facets of that. And it's really neat. And they actually will. The best thing I like about you guys, Kristen, is you guys listen. You ask a lot of very relative questions and you find the pain spots in the business that are happening, and you present legitimate answers. But there's one thing that I love the most, and that is that you guys are the most professional group of people I've ever dealt with in my life. In my 32 years, we hired company after company to do some of what you guys do for us, a lot of it. And I ended up every time back at the bank disputing the fees because we found they either lied to us about something or didn't do what they said they would do, and we didn't get what we were promised. And after 3, 4, 5 of those instances, we really thought we'd never get there. And you guys showed us that not only could we do it for less money than we thought we could, a lot less money, but you guys took a lot of that work out of our lap and made our lives easier in a lot of ways. So yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for that. And I can't say enough good things about what these people, company, sorry about that. I accidentally hit a mute button down here.
That's okay.
I'm dangerous with this stupid little red mute button, man. I swear to God. I'm like, I feel like Simon, on America. Gotta really hit that button there.
No problem.
If we don't have any more questions, it doesn't look like we do. Paul, anybody have any questions? And now Paul's one of our Alignable ambassadors that's actually in with us today, and I'll turn him on real quick so he can have a few 2 cents. Paul goes with a lot of our stuff, and it's nice to have him. I'm going to allow him to speak up here and say something and say hello. Hey, Paul, can you speak?
I can hear you now. What a privilege to have an opportunity to speak.
Thanks for joining us today. You are a celebrity on Alignable. We love to have you at these events.
All right,
yes,
let's not blow me up too much. Kristen,
kissed a little bit. Come on.
This was a great presentation. I took a lot of notes. I have to tell you, Robert knows me well. It's fortunate that I tell you the positive, because this was a very positive. It was negative. Unfortunately, I tell you the negative. This was an extremely positive. I took a lot of notes. A lot of these things I'm already doing. But what I was really impressed with is you are not the first Thryv presentation that I've seen. This was by far the best Thryv presentation I've seen. It really was.
You,
I mean, I like simplicity. I like basic. I like simple to understand. I think the audience needs simple to understand. The slide presentation and the 6 points were just exactly what small businesses need to hear.
Well,
And I often hear from Robert when I meet him outside of this particular meeting how beneficial Thryv is for AIO integration. So this was really, I'm glad I stopped in my busy day to attend this.
Oh, well, thank
we
you.
are
I
too.
appreciate it.
Yeah, something that her and I are going to do, that we've decided to do, is we're going to do a mini series on each of those 6 points, like a half an hour one, and it's going to focus. We're going to do one every month, and it's going to focus on one of those 6 points, right, Kristen?
Yep.
And so that way, if there's one of these things that kind of hit your, the sore spot in your business, you can go back, and we're going to dive into it and maybe demo a little bit of that product and show how it helps, and kind of take a deep dive into each one of those areas every month. So I think that'll be fun.
And Robert, you know my feeling on educational calls. So 1, the small business community needs that. And 2, please let me know when they're occurring so that I can help promote them throughout Alignable.
Oh, absolutely. We'll make sure you are on the queue on that and have all the invite stuff and everything next time. The reason why we don't do these through Zoom, I wish we could, but we've had some issues with people getting confused between our Zoom link and then the Zoom link that, they present through Alignable. They're not the same. And this actually allows us to get a more formal registration and put polls in and ask questions, and it's kind of a little more, it gives us a little more flexibility as a webinar program. But they're going to be hosted in the exact same place every time. There's a registration page, a countdown. It sends you reminders automatically. It's wonderful. So we definitely want to see anybody who wants to learn more about any of these 6 things. We're going to start with one next month and work our way through. And Kristen here is going to be our presenter for each one of those. And I'm just going to be kind of the commentary customer, pain in the butt guy that sits in the back and interrupts all the time.
Oh, yes, I must comment. Robert did a great job of hosting.
Oh,
yes, you did.
Robert, in hosting, Kristen, you really did a great job. In hosting,
thank you.
We need some humor in this busy business day that we go through. So you did a great job of interrupting. I'm all about interrupting. You did it. Your interruptions were at the right time, and your examples were very good, and your humor is great. So all of that I appreciate. So I'll be really happy to be part of and attending future presentations that I can share on Alignable.
Yeah, we'd love to have you as a co-host along with that. If you want to be involved like that, we'd love to have you involved in it. You're always welcome. We love having you involved with anything in regards to Alignable or anything else, Paul.
Well, I appreciate that, Robert, but I'm more of an interruption Christian, so that's why he keeps me muted.
Not only I put his video on here, but he's got as much gray hair as I do, so it'd be overwhelming gray hair compared to the good-looking one of the
Well, I'm glad you said gray hair because I hardly have any gray beard, but there's not too much hair.
Well, yeah. It's like somebody told. I remember a long time ago when I started going gray, I actually colored my hair, and my wife looked at me and she goes, "Why do you do that?" She goes, "The salt and pepper looks great," and I'm like, "Yeah." I said, plus the fact that I can't really color my beard because my beard grows so fast that it wouldn't matter. So it's like, I'm not hiding anything from anybody, so why fight it? Now it's more like silver. I look more like my dad now. But anyway, thanks again, Kristen, for being such a wonderful presenter. We really appreciate you. I look forward to being a part of the stuff coming up in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. All right, y'all, take it easy. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.